And here's what we start with. On the left is Contadina tomato paste, one small can, 6-ounce can, and then I use 4 of the Hunt's sauce. It is a 29-ounce can, and please only use these 2. It's not going to taste right. I've tried it with other brands, and definitely don't do store brand. Use this, it's all in the taste, okay? And the other ingredients, besides the big pot, and here's our finished product. It didn't take the first time, so I'm doing it again. This is now an hour and 20 into brewing. Okay, but here's your ingredients. Here we have the garlic, and you buy 1 clove, and you're only going to use maybe 4 or 5, depending. Your onion, olive oil, McCormick, everything's McCormick, Italian seasoning, McCormick oregano leaves, McCormick rosemary. I don't have thyme, but thyme, whatever the hell it is, if you want that too. And of course a little bit of sugar. That's it. That's your recipe. So let's get on with the lesson of what we're doing here. Okay, here we are ready for the seasonings. I use, to start, between 1/4 and 1/2 of the Italian seasoning. Start with 1/4. This is for this big a pot. It's going to be somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2, okay? And we need some olive oil. That's like maybe 2 great big tablespoons full. Need some oregano. Just a light covering. And then we're going to put some extra rosemary. About that much. Now with rosemary, you want to grind it up. Be nice if I had a grinder, but I don't. If you have a bay leaf or a basil leaf, you can put that in now. You get it all ground up real good, okay? I don't have any extra thyme to put in. And we're going to want about 2 tablespoons of sugar. Alrighty. We mix that up with our Swifter. And I'm going to move it over to the big burner to start heating. You want to heat this up, get it to a small boil, constantly stirring this in because you want the seasonings to release the flavors, okay? So here we go, we got this sort of done, and as it releases the flavor, it's going to be absorbed into the sauce and you won't see it floating like algae on top of the sauce like this. But you got to get it mixed in real good. Okay. And we're going to bring this up to high boil. Not high boil, you know what I'm saying. We want to get it to a boil. And you don't want to do it too fast because you don't want to burn the sauce. The heating up takes a little bit of time. Next we're going to do our garlic. Hang on a second. Alright, once again, it's important to start with fresh stuff. So we got our garlic here. This is that big pot. We'll probably take 4 of these cloves. Okay, 1. I like doing it over the things. I'm going to take this off and throw that away. 2. These are small. I'm not going to use them right now. 3 and 4. So, let me dump this trash out here real quick. We have our 4 garlic cloves. Matter of fact, let's strip them first. Pull off the end and just peel off the very outer shell. This is probably the worst part because it's time consuming. You know what? I'm going to need another garlic because look, we got a little damage here of some sort. Keep some water kind of gurgling because it gets oily and it gets hard to start sticking. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Let me just pull that skin right off. Use our thumbnail or whatever to kind of see, get more. And you don't use garlic salt. You don't want to add salt to the sauce, which is already going to be acidic, which is why we're cutting it with sugar. And you don't want to make it too sweet. There we go. It's coming along just fine. Okay. I would have turned this off, and I will after we get. Okay, hang on a minute. Okay, because I lost one there, I'm going to take another one and put it in there. Alrighty. It's important to cut up the garlic fine. slice it very thin and then I chop it very fine. I'm probably going to use a little bit more, couple of pieces more garlic. And we got our sauce boiling. Here, check it out. Sauce is boiling. And it's boiling a little too quick. I got too much heat. See how the herbs and seasonings are going into the sauce. Okay. Let me see how much this turns out as far as quantity. It might be just right. I like a little, not heavy, but a little extra garlic flavor in my sauce. And don't forget, you can always add later. If you don't think it's right, you want more, you can add, but you cannot take it back. So start with a little less and work your way on up. And after a while, you'll see what will work for your pot, you know, the size you're cooking. I make this and I make a big batch. I give a couple of buttercups away to people. I keep a bowl and a half in the refrigerator, and the rest of it goes in the freezer for later purposes, such as lasagna or extra sauce on pizza, or you know, whatever. Alright, so there we go. We have our finely cut, and I'm going to put one more on and I'll be back. So there we have our garlic ready to go. Now we're going to do the onion. Slice it thin, because we're going to want this in small pieces also. You don't want big chunks and long streams of onion going through your sauce like putting on a hot dog. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, you don't want a lot. That's all you need. Okay. Once again, small pieces. Okay, now we're going to saute the onion and garlic. You just need a little bit of olive oil, enough to cover the bottom of the pan. Not turn it up high. You don't want burnt olive oil. Let the pan get a little warm. And look over here at the sauce. See how the sauce is coming? It's bubbling a little bit. And I just stirred it. So we're getting all the herbs and seasoning in it. Okay. And now what we do is we take our onion and garlic, put it in the pan. We're just going to lightly saute this. Lightly. Let's see how this is bubbling here. Oh lordy, yep, that's what we want. Nice bubble. We have released all the seasonings. Look at that. I'm going to turn this off because we're moving it to the back burner, because we're going to do a very, very, very low simmer. Don't taste it yet. Give it a half hour on low simmer to really start pulling the flavors out. Okay, and we're going to move this back onto the little teeny tiny burner back there and put it all the way down on 0. Ever as low as it will go, because we just want to simmer it and cover it. Wait a half hour and then we'll taste it. Sauce is going, and what I like to do is stir it every half hour or so, just cause. This has been on now a good half hour. You can see how all the seasonings and herbs have just kind of blended in. There's no longer sitting on top. Okay. Stir it up. And let's do a taste 'em test. Because you know I gotta see what this stuff tastes like. A little bit more Italian seasoning is in order for this. And I think that's it. Just a little bit. Remember, you can always put in, but you cannot take out. So always start with little and work up. And not little, I mean, do what I just did and you'll be fine. You can do this in a slow crock pot, you know. You still got to stir it, but you have to cook it first so everything blends in. You know, bring it to the boil, let it do that for a little bit, and then go ahead and put it in the crock pot if that's what you want to do. Still stir it, of course, and check the flavoring here and there. I find it might need sugar as you go along because the acid boils out of the tomato sauce, and so it might need a little extra sugar here and there. But that's all there is to it. Give it a try. Love you guys.